a superhero.
To me, this is what's precious. Yeah, in my soul, man, I can feel it. So every single verse, man, I just gotta go and kill it, man. I gotta be the kid. I could be the guy taking you wild. I could be the villain, but good as a kid. Lately, I'm painting my path on my way. Yeah, I got no time that I can waste. So I've been sitting in the space. Yeah, making rest every day, man. You know that I go insane. Yeah, I hit you with a bullet to the brain. Let us stop first, cause we going insane. You don't know what I'm gonna do. You don't know what is next. And I'm loving the fact, truly it's making me blessed. Cause I work on my team, no snakes in the grass. And we have a trust in the wind because of the work that we did in the past. Because of the work that we did in the past. When we went to hours, we barely got rest. So I get the realm and we didn't finesse. So I got the feelings that we might be next. Cause when we go in, we win in the match. Sure. When we go in, we win in the match. So that's how we do, cause we be the best. We be the best, best. Yeah, we be the best. Whoa. Yeah, we be the best, best. We be the best. Hey, yeah, we be the best, best. Hey, we be the best. Yo, you wanna come a test? Oh, you want to see we the best? Hey, you don't see that we're the best kid, so I suggest you never really come and test it. But otherwise, I will smack your face like Michael Jordan does with a ball on the basket. Oh damn kid, but you didn't expect it. You never really thought that this could just happen. But now I'm really come on and we pull out with the action. Just keep on the feed, those they don't get it like.
starting to heat up a little bit here. Over the wall, and Bond gets 2. Make it 3. Oh, that's the opening you want.
Every single time they've gotten aggressive, they've caught one out. Are you kidding me? Lazy! He's got a 2-for-1 deal.
At this stage, we don't really have to worry about funds all that much because Dynamic has that Blade Storm. He doesn't need to worry about anything else. He's going to get a pick on Kermie because, I mean, he's built like that. Put crack in this dude's cereal. I mean, goodness gracious. It needs to be cracked. I mean, look at it. Look at it. Oh, my God. Look at it.
What? You can see Benevolence doesn't even get distracted by the Trailblazer. Connects on 3. Oh my goodness, Benevolence.
Oh, don't pick it again. Okay.
Give him another.
Okay.
Give him another.
Oh, no.
Baby, yes.
It's able to open up a flank angle, so that forces Stealthy to take the heavy aggression to the forward angle. Is able to get forward. Can he find that ace? Giza is tanked very low. They know exactly where he is, so matter of time before Giza walks into it. Has no idea. Stealthy is tucked away into the corner. Peeks out for the ace, and a big round for Recon 5.
I didn't expect that.
Welcome everybody. Here we are, Championship Sunday here for the PlayerzZone 2K Invitationals, powered by GLG and Community Gaming. We're here to bring you all of the action, and by we, I mean myself, the Doctor, and over here, we're being joined by Sir Mickey, none other, and we are going to be bringing you just this action here today, and I'm super excited.
Oh man, I'm so ready for these two teams. We got Mafia and Lemonade Stand, and the first map, of course, obviously. I feel like we can't have a tournament unless we started off with Haven. You know, I just feel like that's like kind of a rule at this point. But before we get into everything, I just want to give a huge shout out to Community Gaming. Thank you so much, Community, for hosting this. If you guys want more information, go ahead and go to communitygaming.io for more information there.
Yeah, like you were saying, we do have Haven as our first map of the day. After that, we're going to be heading on over to Ascent and Breeze. This is a best-of-3 series after all. And honestly, we talked about it a little bit yesterday. I love Haven. The teams have been playing it all weekend long, so they're definitely practiced on it. So they are hopefully going to have their strats and anti-strats figured out for what they're really planning on getting done today. And then Ascent, again, it's a map that people have played a ton. It has definitely replaced Bind as probably the most played tournament map, I would probably say. Not a statistician, but it just feels like it from a caster perspective. And then Breeze, I don't know if we'll make it that far. We'll have to wait and find out.
I mean, I'm inclined to agree with you on the whole Ascent being the #1 map pick, because it when it comes down to it, Ascent really is, in my opinion, it is, again, not statistics, just my opinion. I think it's the most even map because you do have multiple entries through mid and through market and all of them. So I think that really divides the map, and it's not really coming down to attack or defense side or anything like that. When, as you have Haven, of course, we talk about this all the time. Haven is attack sided, and there's no two ways about it. Just because of the amount of sites. There's 3 whole separate sites that the attack can either bombard C and everybody else is busy on A and B, or vice versa. So it's a very versatile map, and there's also the fact that it's the largest map in the game, so there's plenty of room to rotate and do what you need to do to control mid, because everyone knows mid on every map is a huge control position. If you have control of mid, you're going to have a pretty good time, especially if you're defending.
Yeah. And it's been a great time to watch teams really pick out, like I was saying, their different strategies that they're seeing. We've seen teams just overwhelm other teams on C site, just completely rushing it, taking out the 1 or 2 defenders that are there. We've seen a couple mid plays. We saw yesterday in our second series of the day, lots of mid aggression, and the B attempts just simply weren't really working out. So even though they were attempted, not a very high success rate. CNA, much better for these teams to really bust out on. And when we're coming down to it, I'm excited for the compositions because we've seen a few different ones here today. We've been seeing a lot of Viper, not today, excuse me, yesterday, excuse me. We saw lots of Viper. Sky's obviously a must pick, I think, on this map just because of how much she brings to the table. She has by far and away the best flashes in the game at the moment, and she can gain so much information with the rest of her abilities. Plus, she's a heal. We haven't seen that since Sage, and I mean, she's taken a bat to the kneecap a couple times now.
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel like Sky and Sage both just keep getting nerfed and rebuffed, and it just find a balance. But like you were saying, I mean, Sky is a very versatile character because of those flashes, the Trailblazers, the Seekers, her ultimate. She's very versatile with the information. And when it comes to Haven, I am I stress this every time we see Haven, but you need a Sentinel. And while Sage is a very good option, she's got her heals and her walls and her slow orbs. When it comes down to it, if I'm holding a site by myself, I either want to be Cypher or Killjoy, and there's no one else I'm going to pick. I either Cypher or Killjoy, because those two can literally hold C side or A side or B side, whatever you may have, even Garage, completely alone while your rest of the team focuses on another site. You can either go as far as to just set up your Cypher camera on C, a couple trap wires here and there, and then go focus on B and have C just kind of, just play your trap wires, play your abilities as much as you can. And I think on defense, you're going to have a lot better of a chance with a Sentinel. So
Yeah, and I think yesterday we saw a pretty even split, about 50-50 between teams picking Cypher and teams picking Killjoy. And I think a lot of it came down to who was defending first, who was attacking first, because one of those agents is definitely much better on the attacking side than the defensive side than the other. So again, if it comes down to it, I think we may see just another 50-50 split. We haven't really seen teams really drift away from something like that. The one role that we have really seen teams kind of like, I don't know, not fully decide on a meta, I guess will be the play, is on duelists. For a while now, Haven, we were seeing lots of Phoenix, along with Ascent, we were seeing lots of Phoenix. Lately, I haven't really been seeing as much of that. We did see a Reyna yesterday that just got absolutely broken. Like, it was not doing anything, and it was pretty standard of what we saw on Reyna's on release when nobody knew how to play her yet, where they were just getting absolutely demolished. And so I'm not a huge fan of the pick right now. I think it's not really the strongest duelist you can pick. We're obviously going to get a Jet. I think that's just kind of like how the game is designed. It's like having Flash in League of Legends. Like, you just can't not have one. So I think we're going to get a Jet. If we're going to see a double duelist composition, that's where things kind of get wonky, because we have been seeing, some of the other options come through and be played.
I mean, all in all, I think the number one duelist at the moment in the game, at least in my opinion, is going to be Phoenix, because he has those heals, he's got the double flashes, the curveballs, and that wall. I'm going to be honest, I buy the wall more than I buy I buy the blaze wall more than I buy the curveballs, the flashes, just because that wall creates so much more cover than a flash could ever give you. So I think for that reason, and then obviously the heals, I think Phoenix is going to be your guy for entry. Like you were saying, Reyna is a very strong duelist, but she's just been very inconsistent the past few months with the updates and whatnot. So you want somebody who's going to be solid. So I think either Phoenix or Yoru. Yoru's flashes are chef's kiss, adorable, and along with the gate crash from Yoru is a very, very clutch maneuver if you know how to use them. So as long as we see either a Phoenix or a Yoru tonight, I doubt Yoru, just because he's a great entry fragger, but he's not as consistent as you would like him to be. So I think for entries, we're either going to see Phoenix or Jet or maybe a Yoru. I think Reyna's probably going to stray away, especially on Haven with being so open. Open areas aren't really Reyna's expertise, but all in all, I think this is going to be a great match. As long as we have those comps with at least more than one duelist is all I'm asking for here on Haven.
Yeah, and I do think you're right in that the Jet Phoenix combo is probably the strongest double duelist composition you can have, between the amount of space you can gain and distance yourself with the Jet between the tailwinds and the updrafts, even the cloudburst to a certain extent. But the Phoenix having the hot hands, having the blaze wall, able to really clean out some of these corners, and then having the curveball on top of it to really cover yourself. And honestly, the ultimate run it back is just so good on this map. It is so easy to run into garage, run into A short, and just clean it out. Make sure you either gain the knowledge of somebody being there, or even taking the frag and then being able to push through for even more. And it's so good. And I think it's a lot to pass up in terms of duelist power. But again, if you're running just a single duelist composition, it has to be Jet, right? Like, there's no single duelist that can replace Jet at the moment. So as long as she's in her current state, a single duelist composition on Haven of all things, you're going to be running the Jet, and there's just no question about it.
I couldn't agree. I mean, Jet is at this point in the game, right before we get our next update, I think Jet is the strongest duelist in the game. Maybe the strongest character. Maybe some arguments in chat. Let me know what you think. But all in all, I think no matter what the composition here today, I think as long as we start off with a strong defense here on Haven, that we're gonna see a good, clean, full of content game. That's what I'm hoping. I'm really hoping that I don't caster curse it right now and we get 7 rounds in a row on attack like we did yesterday. Hopefully it gets a little bit more flip-floppy, but again, Haven is a very attack-sided map, so it really all comes down to the composition and how they can play on defense.
Yeah, yesterday we did have quite a bit of stomps, and our two best of ones that you and I casted yesterday, we had that 7-0 start on Haven, and then
Yeah.
that 6-0 start on Icebox. So, bit of a washing on both of those maps, but today, unlike yesterday, we're going to have multiple chances for these teams. No longer are we in the best of one. We are in this full best of three series. So we've been talking a lot about Haven. We're guaranteed Ascent. Like in a best of three situation, you're guaranteed at least 2 maps. And with Ascent being a map that tons and tons and tons of play hours have been put into, updates have happened, strats have been changed and updated, anti-strats have been thrown out the window. The composition's again very, very flamboyant, I guess would be the word I was using. You know, lots of Astra, lots of Phoenix. Flexible is a good word as well. We've seen Vipers and Sages. Like, we've seen pretty much the whole kitchen sink available on Ascent.
Yeah, Ascent is one of those maps where almost every agent is very... if you don't utilize... If you're playing someone on Ascent and you don't utilize all of their abilities, then are you really playing that agent on Ascent? When it comes to mid, you need one thing, and that's a Sova. When it comes to B site, you need one thing, and that's a Killjoy. As long as you have a Killjoy, a Sova, and maybe a healer or two on your side for defense, I think you're gonna come out pretty okay here on Ascent. But nonetheless, we are gonna get into agent select here for Haven as our map number 1 for the day. Again, guys, this is just the B stream. If you guys want to witness the A stream, it's twitch.tv/PlayerzZoneTTV, !PZ in chat for more information. You guys can go over there and watch the main stream. But for now, right here, we got Lemonade Stand versus the Mafia on Haven. Doc, what are you expecting on the first couple rounds here for Haven?
I'm not quite sure yet. We do see that Reyna being locked in here for Brock, which is something that we were kind of talking about a little bit, but
I'm kind of surprised. Dynamics got Jet for Mafia, so there's that. And we have a Jet on Lemonade Stand too.
Yeah, I mean, these compositions are pretty much what we were expecting, I would say. The Reyna, I don't know. I'm so torn on Reyna because from what I've heard, she's still an extremely good agent. It's just that when you aren't out fragging everybody on the map, it can be really difficult to really highlight the agent's specialties, in my opinion. And so I know Brock, we've seen him before, and definitely has, you know, some fragging power in the back pocket. It's just going to be, can they really show that off? And I think a lot of that comes down to, you know, do they hit their shots? If they don't hit the shots, then you're going to have to come again next week.
Yeah, and I just real quick want to point out the fact that the Mafia has a 67% win rate on this map. They played it 6 times, won it 4 of those 6 times. So will this be their 5th win here on their 7th time playing this, or will we see another loss here? Nonetheless, it's going to be all of a sudden a 3-3 situation here, as Governor's going to go ahead and swap out, or use that Owl drone to get some information down the sewers. Doesn't gather anything. And real quick, just want to give a quick shout out to our boy Governor, who is actually subbing in today for the Mafia. So we love you, Governor. We just want to say that. We love you, man.
Look at this. We're going to see some smokage being thrown up on the other side of the map. The Alodrome goes out. I believe we heard the gong signaling that somebody was flashed, and they're diving back and forth here. The Mafia not quite decided on where they want to go just yet, but it does seem with the timer left, they are going to have to go to this A site. There is going to be one person waiting for them, but are they going to be close enough to hear it is the question. They're right at the bottom of those stairs. They can definitely hear something going on.
Spike planted.
Yeah, it's going to be Brock here. And honestly, this is the guy you want. Just waiting for this any kind of rotate. Brock is the guy that you want to enter in here, but it looks like Justin Nova's going to enter first. Alarm bot, beautiful placement. Catches Sky off guard immediately. The shot's coming through, the blind's coming through. 3 versus 2 as Justin Nova goes down, as does Brock. Bang, gets a nice quick trade. Governor is going to make short work of Bang, though, and that's the first point on the board for the Mafia with bomb plant and everything. There we go.
Nice and easy doing. Nothing really going to be thrown out too quickly, but it's a pistol round, right? I said it yesterday. I think they're pretty 50-50. I don't think it's easy to really plan for how the rest of the pistol round's going to go. So
Yeah.
now things get a little interesting because second round, you can see a couple sheriffs being purchased up here on the defender side, but they're sheriffs, right? They're a couple hundred credits, nothing really crazy. And so right now, you could do something, but I think the overwhelming weaponry here from the Mafia are just going to be too strong to deal with.
Yeah, Spectre's second round is, I mean, I'm gonna steal your word. It's overwhelming for the defending side. You see a bunch of attackers running at you with SMGs, and all you got, let's say you're Justin Nova, all you got is a shorty. It's gonna be a little bit intimidating, especially if they're pushing you down long. But at the moment, we're having kind of a standstill, which we seem to have that a lot. Just as these teams get further and further up into the skill group. We see a lot more standstills because they play their abilities, they play their information, they play nice and patient, and as soon as one team gets the upper hand, they go all in, and that's what we love to see.
I'm really interested at how Mafia are actually playing this round. I mean, they know they have, the reasonably better weaponry. They're just playing it very slow. They're getting a lot of information. You can see them building up here, A short, A long. They do still have one member over at C to potentially flank or draw attention, but they're making so much noise over on the A side. They have to know the rotations are coming through, unless it's just such a big brain fake. But with the plant, that's not going to be happening.
Now it's look at Nilia's waiting for that Sova dart. Everybody waits for that Sova dart now. It's one of the most predictable spots to throw it, but Cavern's actually going to be all the way up in Kevin here. He might spot Miniature. He does. Gets tagged up a little bit. Meanwhile, his teammates are getting the works, and now 2 versus 4. Justin Nova, beautiful. Makes it 2 versus 2 now. Dim Sum catches Brock from behind, and now it's Justin Nova in a 1 versus 2, but Miniature going to catch him from down long with that Spectre, and that's 2 in a row now for the Mafia. Lemonade Stand already off to a bit of a rough start here on the defense side, which is expected, but now Lemonade Stand is actually able to buy this round. So is that going to turn the tide, or is Mafia going to be able to get the eco boost here?
That'll be the good question. We've seen teams really struggle on this round, even with weaponry in the past, depending on what their opponent is able to buy for themselves. And we're seeing that the buy on the Mafia is actually not that terrible for what they're planning on doing. You can see them, they do have a couple SMGs, but they do have a Vandal and a Phantom, which are really crucial when you're trying to get something done here. And look at this, they're buying time, they're finding information, they find Justin, but they kind of back off. They are playing it slow once again. They don't want to overcommit too early.
Yeah, that's so key, because you like you said, you don't want to overcommit too early. You get on site, but you don't have your team, it could go south so quick if you're just there by yourself. So their best bet is to just gather the information, get any kind of information on where the defenders are sitting, and then they push wherever they're not. That's essentially what they need to do here. But
that's the dream, at least.
Yeah, Root's doing a pretty solid job of holding down sewers here, just kind of doing a little shoulder peekage. Miniature is there along with that Sova drone, but he's not going to spot them, so they have kind of a clear way to A down long if they wanted to, or they could rotate back towards C, but the problem is here, they're very spread out in terms of the attack side. Mafia's kind of all over the map here, mostly towards mid, actually, and now Brock's going to get the entry that he so desperately wanted. 35 seconds on the clock. Bomb's got to go down here soon, and it looks like they're going to rotate through garage to C, but Justin Nova is holding it. He's going to back off, and now where is Bomb going? There we go, heading towards A. They have to plant at A, right? There's no more time to rotate back.
No, they do have at least one member, Root, standing in their way, but will they check that corner? It seems like they might not even need to. Everybody's falling apart. Root, though, with 2 quick kills, delays the plant so long as running out of time. They quickly pick up the spike, and Dim Sum Boy is getting it down, but with 4 seconds left, it's so close. And now you're just getting shot in the back, trying to pick up a weapon. Bang, and Justin take it to this 2v1. There's only one member remaining. It's the Governor Boy. He's done so much work for so many teams. He just needs to do it one more time, and he certainly has it in him.
And the 11 HP clutch, no doubt. Of course, he's the guy to do that. 11 health, no problem for Governor. It's now 3 in a row for the Mafia. And Lemonade Stand not looking too hot on their eco. They're going, looks like a full sheriff buy. But real quick, look at this replay. Poor Dim Sum got caught trying to pick up that Vandal. Nova just picked him up. And then all of a sudden it turns to this 1v1. And Governor, a shock dart, somehow, I don't know how that didn't connect on Justin Nova's feet, but there we go. Governor swings that corner, nice little headshot with 11 HP, and that's going to be 3 in a row as we're heading into round number 4 here.
Let
Yeah,
me
that bonus run has been pretty problematic for teams this weekend. I can't say I remember a team ever winning one that I've casted so far this weekend. So maybe I'm cursed for these teams. Maybe, you know, the bonus rounds are not in their favor, but starting off 3, potentially 4-0 on a map, especially to start your day. This is the first map of the day, by the way, folks. Like, they haven't played before this unless they were in solo queue. And, I mean, the Mafia certainly seem prepared.
Yeah, it's definitely a rough start, but I mean, it was kind of expected, you know, with this being an attacking side map. It's expected that the defense doesn't have the greatest starting point here. But look at this little bang here, there. Oh, just barely misses the share of shots. Dynamic takes him out. Now it's suddenly a 2 versus 5 situation here for Justin Nova and that Reyna. Justin peeking out, not gonna find anybody. It's a 1 versus 5 now. Brock finds Miniature and the second onto Governor. He's going, oh man, I thought he was gonna go for the third here, but Dynamic picks him off with a classic, and now 4-0 in favor of the Mafia.
Yeah, it's again another save round there. Not much you can do in the overwhelming odds of 5 rifles flying at you. And they're going to have to deal with it at least one more time here unless they can pick up a victory on the side of Lemonade Stand. But they're kitted up again, full armor this time to go along with their full rifles. They're in definitely a really strong spot to be able to clutch this up. They also have that Empress available on Brock to maybe play around and get something with it. But even though they're second on the leaderboard, I'm so far, once again, not impressed with this pick. It just isn't doing what you need your duelist to do, and maybe that'll change on the attacker side, but for right now, they're trapped up in A short trying to get something done.
Yeah, it's a question of whether or not they can get anything done, and Justin says no. Takes out Dynamic, and here comes the Seeker's bomb has been dropped on B site, and all of Lemonade Stand is there defending bomb, just trying to hold this down. The flashes are coming through. The trades are coming through now. Dim Sum. Oh, he gets caught on his teammate, Justin Nova. Brock and Bang all pick up 1, and now it's 1 versus 4 here for Miniature. He's all the way on A site doing a quick wraparound, but they have the information. They know exactly where he's at. I don't know how they know, but they know. It looks like he's just going to have to go for a save here, but look at the positioning from Cavern. Cavern, look left, buddy. Oh, no.
Knife him. Knife him.
Oh, no.
You're not going to knife him.
There's no way he won't. Oh, come on, man. That's just BM. You got to go for the knife. You gotta go
what
for
are you
the
looking
knife.
at? What are you looking at, buddy?
30 seconds left.
But
He's like, oh, that's a cool door. That's a real cool
Yeah.
door.
Round is definitely nothing going to be doing here for the Mafia. It's their first loss here in map number 1, but they still made it fairly expensive for Lemonade Stand to, while at max loss bonus, haven't really had the chance to build up anything, and it's only getting more
10
and more
seconds left.
expensive. The chances of a round win here, basically.
Wait a minute. Chances are skyrocketing. Miniature's not giving up. He now has bomb. If you could just... No! Oh, he grabs the kill and the 4K, but just barely not enough time for that. Mafia
So, I think that's
finally
actually,
going to lose their first round here.
So I'm going to be honest. I think that's actually absolute worst case scenario for Lemonade Stand. Like
Yeah.
there reasonably could not be a worse scenario there, because if they lose the round, they keep their max round loss bonus. If they kill Miniature after he takes out Bang, or not Bang, excuse me, Cavern, then it's still 3 rifles in the hands, but they lose all 5 rifles, win the round, so they get a first round win bonus. And now, if I remember correctly, they really don't have any weapons. I think they're back on Spectres of all things. Oh, there's a Vandal for Cavern, so I may be misspoken. But
You got a couple rifles for Lemonade Stand.
yeah, but I mean, if they lose again, they're back to the first round loss bonus. All right, so they had at least one Spectre.
Oh, that was a big brain flash from Brock. That was beautiful. Catches Miniature off guard. A minute on the clock now. 3 versus 4. Bomb is still in the hands of that Sova from Mafia. So, ooh, the gravity wells are coming through. I love being Astra just so I can do that with the gravity well. Like, hey, buddy, peek that corner. I'm a gravity well this guy real quick. Bop, easy. 50 seconds on the clock. They're going to have to look for a plant here soon. If they're going to rotate, they got to rotate now. If they're going to push A, they got to do it very soon.
They do still have Brock just kind of hanging out on the back of the site here. And they've been burned by this corner so many times, and it looks like they're going to get burned by it at least Oh, he sees
No.
the rifle. Sees
Yes!
the rifle, and the
Thank you,
boxes in Valorant are made out of paper mache, so pretty easy takedown there. Makes it a 3v3, but again, weaponry pretty even between the two teams. We have the Cosmic Divide on both sides, as well as the lockdown for Lemonade Stand. Will they choose to use it? I think they kind of have to.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I mean, you just got to clear space. That's basically all that Killjoy Ultimate's going to do. And then you have the World's Divide coming out on top of that. You're just trying to clear space, trying to get the defuse off. And I think they might be able to do it. But the second World's Divide comes out, flashes are coming through. It's chaos between these two walls. Governor Anilius cleans it up very, very nice and clean, tidy work there from Mafia as they're gonna get their 5th point on the board here. They had a little bit of a break there to Stan. Lemonade Stand was able to smack one in the middle of their streak, but now it's gonna be 5-1. Look at the double wall here. This is insanity. There's just so much chaos in one area. It was just such nice, clean execution from Mafia.
It was such a good flash coming out of Nilly there as well. You really couldn't ask for a better one. It flashed all 3 remaining members of Lemonade Stand, and the whole team was able to just push through, easily one-tap everybody that was there, and they won the round quite cleanly. And it does reset the economy here for Lemonade Stand, so they're definitely worse for wear because of it. And now, let's see what they can get done. Miniatures forcing kills, shock darts getting kills, the Govna is in. And look at this, 3 members down, Neural Theft to find the last couple. Where are you supposed to hide from them right now?
Oh man, air jet. Oh, look at this, the aggression, and now it's a 1-on-5. It looks like they're gonna go ahead and just plant towards B. Not that it matters, because Cavern gets caught alone in garage. He was not in a good situation there. The aggression from Mafia comes through, and they just annihilate almost the entirety of the Lemonade Stand roster, and then leaves Cavern all by himself, and he just wasn't able to get anything done in that situation. 6-1 now in favor of the Mafia.
Yeah, we are thankfully going to finally see some economy on the side of the Lemonade Stand, though. They're coming in half armor, which is a little unfortunate. You would definitely love to see full armor for as many people as possible, but sometimes you don't get what you want. So the weaponry is going to have to be enough right now. And I think the way that the Mafia have been playing, I don't think that extra 500 credits on armor is really going to make that much of a difference. So do what you can with what you got. Hopefully, you're going to be able to see Lemonade Stand start to bring it back a little bit more.
I mean, you would hope, right? At this point, you kind of need more than 1 point on the board. At least it's not 6-0, you know? Could be a repeat of yesterday, but they were able to stop that 4-win streak, and now Lemonade Stand slowly dropping like flies here. Mafia taking control of wherever they need to. Governor gonna make it a 1-on-5 situation here for Brock, and he's gonna go down nice and easy. Couple taps through that Astro Smoke spells his death. Now 7 points on the board for the Mafia. Lemonade Stand still with 1. We got 4 more rounds to go. So they could easily bring this back to a 7-5, or it could just end up being an 11-1 first half, which would be very unfortunate for Lemonade Stand.
Yeah, I mean, these two teams, looking at yesterday, in the round of 16, they both 2-0'd their opponent. The Mafia taking a 2-0 over Illusions, who we showcased on the B stream yesterday, who were pretty good. And then Lemonade Stand took a 2-0 over Fenrir, who, again, another pretty solid team from both stands. I mean, the two teams now colliding here in the quarterfinals, and sometimes these things happen, right? Sometimes you do just get absolutely mismatched on map number 1, and with this being the first map of the day, sometimes, we hate to say it, you are still waking up a little bit, even though it is, 1 in the afternoon.
Well, for me, it's only 12:26 because Central Time.
Because you're in an inferior time zone, that's why.
You right. They are going to find sight, though. Dynamic here. Going to get the plant down at a minute left on the clock. Now it's a 4-man retake, basically a 3-man retake. Look at the health from the defending Jet here. It's not a good situation for them.
They've definitely been in better, but for right now,
yeah,
they have to make it happen. Right now, Governor off to another strong start. The hitman of GLG coming through. Dynamic also going to pick up a kill. Root somehow only on 1 HP. Billy's going to take that down to 0. And now it's just the 1-man gamer left. It all comes down to poor old Brock, who, again, is just not an inferior agent. Like that, I don't know how to mince words about it anymore. This agent is just not good.
Miranda sucks now. She used to be amazing. That's the thing. She used to be one of the most powerful characters in the game, and now all of a sudden it's like, what happened? I mean, Brock he's 5-9. You know, he's not doing an awful job as an entry fragger, but when it comes down to it, he's not doing as well as he would be if he were playing a more self-sufficient agent like Phoenix or Jet. You know, at least duelist. But nonetheless, 8-1 now. Mafia straight up taking charge of this first half at least, which is to be expected on Haven. But a lot of abilities coming across C site. Oh, guys, folks, if you look at the top left of your screen, you're gonna see nothing but blue and red mixing together. A lot of abilities being dumped out here. Dynamic not able to find a single spray through that smoke, and now 2 versus 3 as bomb is going to get planted here on C site. The retake here from Root and Company. Oh, nice little flick, but Governor's going to catch him off guard. 1 versus 2 now as Cavern takes out Miniature, very low HP from Dim Sum. Cavern with the Owl Drone trying to get some information. Little does he know, Dim Sum is very, very hurt.
Yeah, if he's a fraction of HP remaining, but we're going to see Cavern try and jump through.
There it is.
He's going to be able to hit the headshot on Dim Sum, but Governor again coming in clutch for the team that he is substituting for today. The Mafia now 9-1. And I mean, Mickey, we said it off air when we were talking with Ben and Ryan, our producer. Governor's been kind of around GLG a lot. Like,
yeah,
he's been on, I don't know exactly how many teams.
He's a legacy.
He's always filling in for somebody and always shows up and makes the team look good. And he's just keeping that trend going. He's tied for first there with Miniature, 14-3. He's got the 1 assist there to make up for his death. But still, I mean, the teams that he's supports for, steps in for, whatever you want to use, always look good. And he's just dominating. He's doing so good on the solo pickup. Yeah, it's crazy.
He's a monster. I mean. As someone who is a Sova main, beautiful shot from Cavern. As someone who's a Sova main, I mean, I'd love to see Sovas go off. I absolutely love it. And at the moment, man's doing some damage. Cavern's there too. Cavern's doing some good. He's making some good Sova maneuvers. His recon bolter seem to be finding a lot of good information for his team. But all in all, there is a bit of a Sova diff, and that's not entirely Cavern's fault. You know, it's just the fact that Governor's nuts at the game, and now it's going to be a 5-on-2 for I think the first time in a couple rounds here. Lemonade Stand has the man advantage, and unfortunately, Jet is a little bit worse for wear, but it looks like Mafia is going to take bomb and go to C site as the World's Divide going to go down here, so they no longer have that cover, but Dim Sum's doing what he can to check those corners. And I think he is going to go ahead and signal for his buddy to come plant. And, I mean, Lemonade Stand's got to be doing the math here, right? Looks like they're finally going to rotate towards C. Everybody's open. Bomb hasn't been planted anywhere yet. Now...
It's still scary for the side of Lemonade Stand. I mean, they have Nilly, who does still have an ability left. And they have poor Dim Sum Boy, who has been hitting some really clean shots. Root's down to 15 HP, so... Only needs 1 more bullet. This Empress, about a quarter left on it. We'll have to see how aggressive they decide to get with it. That is not a great start as Nilly and Dim Sum both pick up kills. Down to 20 HP on the side of Dim Sum, but they've made it happen before. No pings here from the Recon Dart, but the kills are in. Cavern gets one, Brock gets the other.
There we go. And just a small shout out to Nilly on that one. He was healing his teammate while that was all going down. So... I mean, good job on being a great Sky teammate, but unfortunately they just weren't able to cut it. 9-2 as Lemonade Stand finally going to get their 2nd point on the board as we're heading in the last round of the half. Look at this replay here. Dim Sum gets his head shaved down to 20 HP. The heal comes through. Not much is done, though, and Nilly just not able to react quick enough, and that's going to give LS their 1st point, or their 2nd point on the board.
Yeah, and I do like the play there from the Lemonade Stand, the confidence there to go for 2 1v1s. Even though they've been kind of getting slacked up to this point, it really shows that they're still willing to play the game to the best of their abilities. I mean, I think a lot of teams there would try and go for a stronger 2v1 setup in case there is a potential trade one-shot, but they trusted their players, they trusted in their abilities to hit shots, and they just went for it, and it worked out that time for them. Now they're heading to the A site that already has basically everybody from Lemonade Stand on it.
Yeah.
The rotations are going to be quick in just a couple seconds.
There's 3 sites, Mafia, and you pick the one that they're all already on. And here we go. The Killjoy ult comes out. I wonder if the shock darts are going to be able to get rid of that. Here we go. The Hunter's Fury. But is it aiming for that lockdown? It is. It gets destroyed. Lots of trades coming out. Governor picks up 2 kills from that Sova ult as well. And now it's a 3 versus 2. Nilly gets lost in the smoke. Finds Root, though. 2 versus 3 now. 2 versus 2. The numbers are dwindling for both sides. 1-on-1 now. All of a sudden, it's Governor versus Bang. Governor's just that much quicker with a nice little 4K. Gonna solidify round number 10. And ladies and gentlemen, we're moving on to the second half here.
That's a brutal first half. 10-2.
We've seen worse.
It really doesn't get that much worse though, because
I mean,
it could
at
be
least
10.
it's not 12-0.
Yeah, I mean, silver linings and all that. You still potentially have, you know, a 12-2 in your future if the Mafia are able to clean up this pistol rounds. And honestly, that puts you in such a weird predicament if you do lose the pistol here for your Lemonade Stand, right? You can either choose to then buy up on round 2 to try and, you know, force something out of them and, you know, play for a potential victory still, or you do the traditional save route on the second round and then just play for overtime. The problem playing for overtime is you need 10 rounds in a row. 10!
Yeah, at this point, I mean, Mafia's done a pretty solid effort on these, or a pretty solid job in general on these pistol rounds. So you gotta wonder, there we go. Nilly starts it off immediately, taking out Cavern with a headshot from the Ghost. And, oh, dynamic, beautiful positioning, catches Justin off guard. Now it's suddenly a 2-man disadvantage for LS. I mean, Mafia, like I said, they've been so solid on these pistol rounds. They took the first 2. And I didn't really see why this should be any different, even though Lemonade is now on attack. It's still, you know, it's still aiming. Like you said, pistol rounds are so, they're just not a consistent round. Pistol rounds are just, there's strats to be had. But all in all, it's such a messy first 2 rounds of every game. There's no real way to predict a pistol round. Nilly,
nice
beautiful
little
flash.
triple peek there. Even with the flash, Nilly's does get beaten out. And you can see here, very low HP bars, 23 HP there. Governor in miniature, though, holding strong. Root's going for the ace, though. Just needs a couple more. And we're going to see Dynamic pushing aggressively. But will they expect the window flank? I don't think they're going to.
He's right behind him.
Oh, but the shots don't connect! Oh, no!
Oh, man. That's so heartbreaking. That could have been 3-10. That could have, oh man, that really could have helped them out there. Oh, poor Root. He's kicking himself. You know he is. 11-2 now. Mafia now 1 point away from match point. Poor Lemonade Stand. That's heartbreaking.
Yeah, they really traced the outline there.
Yeah.
Unfortunate with the Ghost. Sometimes that's just how it goes. And now it's that second round. You can see that they are going for that force buy. They're playing for victory, not for overtime. They have a Guardian, bunch of Sheriffs, full armor on just about everybody. Let's see if they can make it happen. Root hits a nasty header onto Governor, one of the best performers on the server at the moment, and just removes him from it.
Right there.
Yeah, man down for Mafia, but bomb is going to get planted here. Lemonade Stand, I mean, they're able to get to site, which is more than could be said about last round. So, oh, here we go. Bomb has been planted. Bang, going off for no reason. Picks up a 3-piece. And that's going to give Lemonade Stand finally, or no, Mafia actually. Or no, yes, Mafia. Jeez, my brain is not working correctly. It's going to be Lemonade Stand getting their 3rd point on the board. 11-3 now.
They do survive at least one more round. And with that being that kind of a gimme round there for Mafia, you can see now they're really not that concerned with purchasing big weapons. They have 4 classics at the moment, which is the Sheriff onto Dynamic. But even then, Dynamic still has so much more money than the rest of the team, sitting on 3K versus an average of like 1,900. So they are going to be planning on buying next round. They are going to, you know, take it to the full rifles on what will potentially be Lemonade's bonus, I think. If the numbers are in my head correctly.
Yes. If they capture this one, it'll be a bonus, right?
Well, I mean, they got 2 rifles already. You just have to upgrade the Spectres, I imagine.
Oh, they shorty from that distance. Nilly, I'm sorry, man. It doesn't reach all that way. Dynamic, though, finally. Oh!
I thought he collateraled him. I thought he got the collat.
Me too. For like half a second, I was like, hold on. Ooh, Governor
Wait, is it
takes
happening?
out Root.
Is it happening?
Is what happening?
Yeah, they getting thrifty? Location revealed.
entirely possible.
3v2 in favor of the Mafia. They can steal away some weapons here. That recon dart went way wide. So unfortunate there. Goes Ghost. Brock holding strong, but they get headshots by Dynamic. There's just one member remaining. Could this be the end? Chalk dart defuse. Down goes Governor. It's all down to Dynamic, who picks up a weapon, but it can't hit the shot. Bang! Once again, clutching up for Lemonade Stand.
Governor, you scared me there for a minute, man. That shock dart kind of... I thought, if you look here for a second, it looks like Governor almost shock darted himself. That wallbang Sheriff, though. I think the Guardian is really what set Governor back a little bit here. The Guardian's not the best gun for the situation he was in, and then fortunately for Bang, he's just nice and quick on the sprays, and that's going to give now 11-4. Lemonade Stand slowly crawling back. So far, they've been able to prevent match point from hitting, but how long are they going to be able to keep that up, Doc? That's the question.
Yeah, we do get the Blade Storm coming out on the side of Lemonade Stand as well. Maybe that could be a deciding factor, but you didn't see it. There is a lot of weaponry on the side of the Mafia. They even have an operator there on the side of Root, but the knives are out. The knives are in bodies, and Root picking up 2 quick kills.
And Root's a monster with the Blade Storm. Who knew? I mean, who knew a Jet knew how to jet, right? It's crazy how that works. 3-5 now. 2-man deficit for the Mafia. Bomb is planted on C site, and you gotta wonder if Mafia just wants to. Do they just save here? You know, I mean, now it's a 1-on-5. Do they save the whatever rifle that Jet has? Oh, it's an op, so yes, they are gonna go ahead and save that. That's their best point of access here. My words aren't working, but that's fine. He's able to save the op, maybe.
I don't think so. They're definitely getting hunted. The A short player coming up here. Justin should
yeah.
get a free kill.
And a free up. Yeah, his back turned, unfortunately, but there we go. That's what you want to see, though. If you're a fan of Lemonade Stand, if you're fanned is not a word, fan of a Lemonade Stand, then this is exactly what you want to see. They're coming back. They've got 3 in a row. You know, this is not over quite yet, but it's also still a lot of work on the side of Lemonade Stand. If they want to bring this back, they're going to have to kick themselves into gear. I mean, 3 rounds ago is when they started, but, you know, they're going to have to keep that going.
Yeah, I mean, we're basically going to have to go the full distance at this point if Lemonade Stand want to come out victorious. And any single loss here does put Mafia on map point, as we're going to see 3 pings from that recon dart, excuse me, but Justin with the ego just takes him out. Dynamic gonna win out over Root with that Blade Storm. Governor falls. Dynamic.
Oh my God!
3. Is there anybody left? There's nobody left on. Oh, there's one more person on site.
The Jets today are nuts. There we go. 4K Dynamic potential ace here as he takes out Cavern.
Oh wait, Justin's going for the long route, and we're actually gonna see him turn around. We're gonna see Nilly.
Oh, they're gonna meet. They're gonna meet. Justin, there we go! Justin meets Dynamic, but Dynamic is there to greet him with a knife to the chest. Perfect little ace there for Dynamic. Beautiful Blade Storm.
That's a backbreaker. That's just absolute devastation. The replay going to catch right at the end here, the 4th kill there for Dynamic on the Cavern. And I thought Nilly was in a great position, but they actually fell away back towards window here, and you can see them sliding back. And just at that last second, we flip on over to Dynamic getting the ace. But, man, what are you supposed to do if your Lemonade Stand there? You just got bodied.
I mean, I think at that point, this guy backed off because he knew that Jet almost had an ace there. I think that's what happened. He kind of backed off. He's like, do it, get it, get the ace. But look at this. They're trying to infiltrate garage here, and it's just not working so far. They got the Aster smokes. There's flashes coming through, but nothing's really giving them that momentum. Dim Sum, by the way, is okay. We got Miniature on site with them down to 31 HP. They got, oh, there we go. Mafia is doing a great job of defending C site, and now it's a 2 versus 4. Men keep getting traded in and out. Governor able to take out that lockdown. 2 versus 3 now. Lemonade Stand not in an impossible situation when it comes to, you know, the numbers game. There we go. Cavern takes out Governor. But are they going to be able to get the plant down? The fake onto B, and it looks like they're just going straight to A, and they got it. Yeah, there we go. Justin's covering that long angle, but Dynamic, no, Justin's going straight up to heaven. Dynamic is in a very good position to do some real damage, especially since they got the Astra coming from mid. So he's probably going to come down long or sewers, and they have a bit of a sandwich operation here going with these two defenders on the retake. And as long as Cavern and Justin hold this down, I think they're going to be able to pull it out here. Oh, Dynamic says no.
From Dynamic, are you kidding me?
He just called me a liar.
I did not expect that to happen, and now it's Cavern somehow lost in a 1v2 for the map.
Man.
And unfortunately for them, they're not going to be able to get the shot.
Very unfortunate for Cavern. The spray just wasn't there, and that's gonna be it, ladies and gentlemen. Map number 1 has concluded with Mafia taking Haven 13-5. Currently 1 up in the series. 1 up in the series. I mean, oof.
That's just, you know, how it crumbles sometimes. Unfortunately, even going into the second half there, we weren't able to see a resurgence from Lemonade Stand. Mafia were too locked in, it would seem, this time. And I mean, honestly, like I said, that ace there from Dynamic, it does so much mental damage to be put in that situation. You know, it wasn't the game-ending play, technically, but I think from a certain standpoint, you can kind of be like, all right, guys, like, what are we supposed to do? We have to win the next, like, 8 rounds in a row just to get it to an overtime. So we are going to be heading to Ascent next, and this is going to be potentially it for Lemonade Stand. They have to win here to take it to a game 3 if they want to continue on in this tournament, and they have to. Like, there's just no other word for it. They have to win Ascent.
Yeah, you're right. There's no two ways about it. They have to. If they don't take Ascent, then it's a quick 2-0 here for Mafia. And I for one, I haven't casted Breeze enough. I want to cast some Breeze today. I don't like playing it, but I like watching it. Does that make sense? I don't know, but I think we are going to take a short break here, correct, production?
Yeah.
Yes,
so
we are gonna,
now, we do want to give a shout out to some of our upcoming tournaments, though. We do have this Wednesday's Pit of Valor already available for signups. The last couple have been absolutely bonkers in terms of level of play, and it's free to enter, and you get to win some money potentially at the end of the night if you're good enough. And so gotta show up to prove out, and that is this Wednesday. Signups are available in the link down below, so be sure to sign up for those. And with that, we are going to be kicking it to a short break, so stay tuned for more Valor in action.
Town, from London to Taiwan, I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. Tears around like an ocean in my head. I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that it's not reality. If you are echoing around inside these parallel dimensions all alone, know I'll find you in my dreams. Find you in my
Welcome back, everybody. Here we are with the PlayerzZone 2K Invitational powered by Community Gaming. I'm the Doctor, being joined here by Mickey, just like we said earlier, in case you missed it. And we're already heading into game number 2 of this best of 3 series between Lemonade Stand and the Mafia. The Mafia very dominantly taking it 13-5 there over Lemonade Stand on Haven. Heading into map number 2, we're going to Ascent, Sir Mickey. And this is a map teams have played through and through for months.
Oh yeah, I mean, if we look at Lemonade Stand here, I have my notes. Lemonade Stand actually only has a 33% win rate on this map, but they've only played it 3 times. They're currently 1-2. They've won once and lost twice. So hopefully this will be a little bit different. As I mean, I believe this is their pick, correct? This is Ascent is Lemonade Stand's pick, or is this Mafia? Because it'd be really awkward if they won. If Mafia won,
So this
if
is
Mafia
in fact
won Lemonade's
Lemonade's. Yeah, this is Lemonade's pick.
Okay, yeah. So hopefully
so-
we'll see maybe a fourth or maybe a fourth game, a second win here for Lemonade Stand. Meanwhile, on Mafia, I mean, they've played this 6 times and they have an 83% win rate. So you gotta wonder, is that gonna come into factor here? But either way, we're gonna see Mafia on defense and Lemonade Stand on attack. We already have our player composition on our screens.
Yeah, and it does look like Lemonade Stand are going to be going with the same composition that they were rocking on the last map. It's looking so far like Mafia are going to be rocking the same one as well, which, again, these maps are pretty, I don't want to say similar, because obviously a 3-site map versus a 2-site map is very dynamically different, but
Yeah.
the compositions that they're putting together right now are pretty universal in terms of what they can do. Once again, Brock going with that Reyna, it honestly hurts my soul a little bit.
Yeah, I was
It's
just thinking the same thing. I mean, you would think. I mean, he went 15-15, so he had a pretty okay KD. But as a Reyna, I mean, I feel like you should be able to do a little bit better. So I think Brock maybe, unless he's, I mean, I'm sure he's already locked in, but maybe next time. A little, I just feel like after that 13-5, I feel like he should have done a little bit of evaluation on his character, because let's face it, like we've been saying, Reyna is not as strong as she used to be. So is that going to come into play? Is Brock going to have more trouble on Reyna, or is Ascent more of his jam? Either way, we have a double Astra, double Sova. I mean, we have a pretty wide composition. Like you said, it's pretty versatile across all 6 maps here in Valorant. This is, both of these comps are very doable. So it all comes down to how they're going to play with each other. But real quick, I just want to give a quick shout out to Root and Dynamic. They were, they're actually both Jets currently, and they were also Jet on Haven. They both did phenomenal as Jet. Root went 12-18, which isn't incredible, but for losing as bad as they did, it's pretty solid. Dynamic basically put the team on his back, 22-11. So let's see if Dynamic can do that again and carry Mafia once again to victory with the help of Governor here.
Hey, we're going to see the Yellow Drone going on through Market. 3 members set up on this B site already here for Mafia, though. They're going to be putting pins to needles as Root's trying to get away. Finally gets the kill onto somebody, just headshots Dynamic. But now they know where you are, my friend. He just gets completely overwhelmed. Everybody's rushing to the A site, but that's where Dim Sum and Mini Mature are, and they are going to take it to him, picking up 2 quick kills as they go deeper and deeper into the site. Brock and Cavern picking up kills, but the only one left now is Brock. They know where you are. And can they get the frag? Gotta look up, my friend. That's where Dim Sum is.
Oh man, the surf on top of Jenny Dim Sum, just the positioning was great. And right off the bat, kind of having it's only the first round, but we're kind of having a repeat. Mafia took the first round nice and, I mean, I don't want to say easy. They lost 3 members, but you know, it wasn't really, it didn't come down to a huge fight. It was mainly just Lemonade Stand getting picked off one by one until all of a sudden there was no one left. So, here we're gonna see some Spectres and Ares come out from Lemonade Stand, or excuse me, from the Mafia, and then on Lemonade Stand we just got pistols. So let's see if they can do some damage here.
Yeah, I mean, we saw how this story went last time, but last map, Mafia were in the attacking side, so they were able to be a little bit more free style with their play. Right now, they have to be a bit more reactionary, but there's certainly nothing reactionary about Dynamic's position right now. Super deep into enemy lines, going all the way through the attacking spawn. Hasn't seen anybody yet, hasn't found anybody yet, but if they don't get a bit faster, he could drop the spike. He sees one target, is making sure the corners are clear before he goes for it. Sees 2 players, one can't quite get the second just yet, but he drops the spike. The call has been made, the rotations are in.
Oh, not able to find a second there. 3 versus 3 as Root takes out Nilly. The spray coming in from Governor with the Ares. He's got enemies all over. Cat Dim Sum, beautiful headshot set up there for Root. Takes him out. Now it's a 2 versus 3 situation. Very, not good in terms of numbers for Lemonade Stand here.
No, they've definitely been in better positions so far. They're not committed to a site just yet, and they were able to recover the spike quite easily, I would say, since it was right there. But will they be able to get anything further? You can see the rotations are coming through. The
there we go.
Clean shot there from Brock is going to do a great job trying to get through this door, but it's only so much to do with his pistols. So going for the double reload, they are overhealed by about 36 HP. Governor sitting here waiting for them. The plant sounds come in. The
definitely
peek is in, and they're dead to rights.
I in my head I was like, he's definitely gonna get one here, right? At least Governor would at least get one, and luckily he was able to get Brock while he in the middle of a plant. So that was perfect execution from him there. That's gonna give Mafia their second round on the board here. Thanks to Governor. Look at this. He just plays it nice and patient. He hears the sound. Oh, there it goes. There we go. Plant. Oh, Bang's watching me. Never mind. I'll just shred him. Brock's right behind him. Keep spraying. Boop. Dead ski. 2 in a row for Mafia.
Yeah, I mean, they had the right idea. They had the higher health player going for the defuse, or for the plant, excuse me. Man,
ooh,
get that shoulder feed. But I mean, in the end of the day, sometimes you get caught with your pants down, and there's nothing you can really do about that. So Governor, like we saw there, securing yet another round for Mafia, and man,
it's great. Look how far up Brock gets here. Brock and Justin are they're so angsty. They like to push up as far into mid as they're allowed to, and it causes so much damage for their own team because they end up leaving their teammates by themselves. And there we go. Justin is in B main here, and he gets taken out. And now Lemonade Stand is now in a 2-man deficit as Bang pushed up by himself, and he had really no backup there. He had Cavern there, but unfortunately Cavern just wasn't watching the angle. And now all of a sudden it's a 2 versus 4, and our 2 Lemonade Stand players are on opposite sides of the map, and now it's a 1-on-5. There we go. Invitational cleans it up nice and smooth there. Has his pick of the litter in terms of guns, throwing them to his teammates. Guys, I found guns, and there we go. 3 in a row for Mafia.
Winning the bonus is always such a strong start. You can see here that they were able to steal a couple weapons away. There is still the Spectre and the Dim Sum boy who just wasn't close enough to any dead bodies to really scavenge something up, but not the end of the world. I mean, it basically just means free money for the rest of the team. They don't have to spend on weapons. They just have to re-up their armor, re-up their abilities, and you can see the differential already starting to spread. I mean, if Lemonade Stand do lose this round, they're at max round loss bonus, and so they'll have quite a bit of bank at that point, so they will have a full buy. Huge!
Governor with the wall bang. That beautiful recon dart starts it off. He gets the first wall bang with the Odin, and Nilly is there for the 4K. My God, that was so smooth.
Remember what I said Remember when I
Oh,
said
man.
Sky has the best flash in the game? This is exactly what we're saying. You get the quick
Yeah.
smoke there, the slow push up. They set up more,
Look at
but
that.
they're just all blinded.
Oh,
And if it
man.
wasn't for Governor stealing the kill, we 100% would have had another ace there. Poor Nilly. I feel for you, son. You definitely deserved that. You did all the hard work. Governor
feel like
didn't
Governor-
actually do anything.
Without that scam, though, I mean, you know, he participated a little bit there. They all get mowed down in Garage, and they still decide to commit to it. Governor makes them pay with a shock dart to the face of Brock, and now it's nothing but red in B main as they're making their way to B site. Flies are being dropped like Mafia members. I don't know what my brain just did, but it's now a 3 versus 3. The Hunter's Fury comes out from Governor, but Cavernor's got the angle. Dynamic takes out Justin. Cavern able to finish Governor 2 versus 2 now.
Spike planted.
Astra versus Astra, Jet versus Sova. Dynamic is on site with the op. Not quick enough on the reaction time. Gets taken out here from Cavern, and now it's Dim Sum Boy. In a 1 versus 2. Finds Bang, but Bang finds him just a fraction of a second sooner. And that's a free op on the ground, Cavern. He's not even going to pick it up. Oh, my goodness. He didn't even pick it up.
That was such a weird
He didn't want it.
round.
It was, but Lemonade Stand was able to get the win off of it, so there we go. First round on the board, 4-1.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if they really deserve to win that round, though. Like it was
Definitely not, but
it was just so weird the way Mafia decided to play a lot of those situations. I mean, we saw that really early Hunter's Fury come out, and
look at
I mean,
op.
the Sova, the Sova of all players was able to get super deep into the site and take them out. So had, you know, the Jet player been able to really get aggressive, there was no shot that the Hunter's Fury survives. And then being that close with an operator, it's just a tough thing to, you know, to do. There's really nothing to be said about it other than how hard it can be. And look at this, already getting aggressive with that operator again. You got first blood, but all right, you got second blood. All right, Dynamic's really showing up today.
Yeah, I feel like every time we make a call about how hard it's going to be, Dynamic just swoops in and does whatever he does and just proves us wrong immediately. And now it's 3 men down on the side of Lemonade Stand. It's a 2 versus 5. Dynamic and his Sky friend have been doing a great job of holding down mid. Finally, Mafia is going to lose Dim Sum Boy. Now it's a 2 versus 4, and the health for Justin is not looking too hot. He's got 44 HP and a Dream Miniature on the other side of the map. Gonna drop bomb, and there we go. Governor finishes it off by taking out Justinova, and Mafia is right back in charge of this game. It's 5-1. As Lemonade Stand, you just lost Haven 13-5. You got to kick it up a notch. This cannot be a repeat of last map. If it is, you've already lost. Even if this first half goes completely one-sided to Mafia, it's still going to be so hard for Lemonade Stand to do anything here. So they're going to have to work their asses off here to get any kind of ground.
And you know what's really unfortunate for the teams that you and I have been commentating so far this weekend? This is the now 4th map in a row where within the first 7 rounds, you get a single victory and are immediately reset. Both games we saw yesterday in Best of Ones, it was 7-0 to 6-0, and then the enemy team won a round and immediately lost. So it became 8-1 and 7-1 respectively. Last map, we had that early reset as well. That was on the 3rd round, if I remember correctly. Whereas this one waited a little bit more, and so we're back to 5-1, immediately reset. Lemonade Stand, though, had a decent-ish buy, despite that, though.
Yeah, I mean that's such an important factor of this game is the money. You have to know how to buy. If you can't afford a Vandal, maybe go with a Bulldog or a Spectre, something a little bit cheaper, but it'll get the job done. And that's exactly what Lemonade Stand is doing. Miniature doing a great job of holding sight. Gonna get finally taken out here though. Now it's 3 versus 4. Man advantage to Lemonade Stand as bomb is gonna get planted. I think that's the first time they've been able to plant bomb, right? And that might be the first time they took sight. And now Nilly getting a little bit of information. Oh man, Lemonade Stand is owning this round. Now 1 versus 3 as Dynamic takes out Bang. A lot of utility coming out here, and Dynamic's just gonna have to save that op. That's what I would do, at least.
It's a tough loss. I mean, we were just talking about how immediate resets are coming through, And they did the exact same thing now, where Lemonade Stand are able to win the round that they lost after. The operator here on Dynamic may actually not even make it through to the next round, as Root is in a great position.
Oh,
but
man.
not going to go too hunting. Oh, they might have just gifted it, though.
Oh! Man.
Excuse me?
Wait.
Excuse me? Sir, he had a family!
Oh, man. The
You
reaction
no-scoped
time.
him.
The action time there from Root was that of a turtle shell, and that just gave Dynamic all the opportunity he needed. Beautiful little no-scope there, honestly. It was cheeky, and I hate him for it, but all in all, it was a good shot. Now, second on the board here for Lemonade Stand. I mean, I gotta say, for Lemonade Stand, they've been a little bit rough. In the first map, they had a rough time, and so far, they've been able to, you know, they're not tying it by any means, but they're keeping up a little bit better than they were in the first part, and you got to take your wins as you can get them. So here we go. Minute 30 on the clock. 5-2 is your score. Mafia in the lead by 3. Miniature gets taken out nice and quick by Root, but he gets tagged up as well. Now doing what he can to control Heaven. The Hunter's Fury comes out, and now bomb getting planted on A site. Beautiful wall bang there from Governor onto Root. 4 versus 4 now.
Blade Storm coming out as well as the Owl Drone, trying to make some space happen here. Super duper up sky coming through with the updraft, but immediately forced back by the enemy recon dart. And now, what are you supposed to do? You just gotta go in. Are you kidding me, Dynamic? The guy is a content machine. Finally gonna fall down to Justin, but it's immediately traded by Nilly. And oh man, back and forth, 1 round apiece. Who's gonna be the first to break?
I mean, this is still anyone's game. That's the crazy part about this, right? Because we have 4 more rounds in this half, and it's 6-2. It's a 4-round deficit, and those are the rounds that Lemonade Stand needs to just tie this up. So as long as they can get a little bit of holding here in the next couple rounds, they're gonna be fine. But look at this replay from Dynamic. 2 beautiful headshots. He almost had Cavern, and unfortunately, Justin was just barely able to shut him down, but Nilly was there for the quick little trade. Now 6-2 is your score in favor of the Mafia, who's been kind of, I mean, they've been pretty solid on controlling the map so far.
Friendly reminder, though, this is Lemonade Stand's map pick, so they're definitely going to need a little bit more gas behind them if they really want to start taking this. But like we've seen many teams in the past, maybe they're a more defender-sided team on this map. And so, you know, we are seeing Mafia hop out to a decent-ish early lead. But it could change, right? It's only 4-round difference. They have some weapons on the side of Lemonade Stand right now, as we're seeing Justin playing very patiently, is very aware of Dynamic watching that angle, but they're going to fall away. Root's the first one down in this round, and Cavern's quick to follow.
Now all of a sudden, 2 versus 5. Dynamic not in a good position here. Justin finds him through the smoke. Beautiful headshot. 2 versus 4 now. Justin's caught in a bad position, and now it's Brock with bomb and a dream, but Miniature gonna find his head nice and quick, and that's 7-2 now. Mafia's still running things.
Yeah, I think they have the money and the connections that they may be in a spot of power for quite a bit longer.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to fall short to tax evasion like some other mobsters that we may know. But, man, look at this. It's another full buy coming in from Lemonade Stand. They've scrapped up their pennies. They started selling full lemons on the side, maybe even some grapes to the ducks by the pond. But it's coming down to the last couple rounds of the half here, and they have to get something. They just need a little bit more. They're ripping that Cosmic Divide off so early. Look at what they can do.
Yeah, very early Astral, or yeah, Cosmic. Is the Astral ult, that thing? Dynamic looking to lock down tree here. They do find one on Mafia. It's gonna be Miniature going down at the hands of Justin. And that nade swarm, Justin gonna throw a couple more nano swarms on site here. Try to control from wine. Governor finds one though. It's gonna be 3-3 now. Cavern, excuse me, finds Nilly. This is it's looking a little bleak here for the Mafia on this retake.
really brutal, especially having that operator in hand. It's very difficult to retake this site with such a long-range weapon. You can see them trying to play it super duper slow, clean all the angles, check every bit of space they can. They're even showing the rock dart into hell, but they're still making it work. Dynamic picking up the kill. They're holding that defuse, but he falls before it can get to halfway. No, he gets halfway. They're holding it. Dynamic gets the shot, but it doesn't matter. The defuse has been killed again, and the spike explodes.
Oh my god. That was, I don't even know what just happened. That was the smokes come out, the abilities come out, and it was just the perfect amount of distraction for them to take Dim Sum off of Diffuse. Governor was on it. He gets taken out by Bang, and they just keep on. I mean, Bang and Dim Sum both get taken out, and then Justin's just firing through that smoke with every ounce of hopes and dreams, and it just finally was able to connect, and then Dynamic finishes him off, but that's going to give them just the right amount of time for Lemonade Stand to get their third in the books here. Now 7-3. Oh,
Dynamic fall very early on in this round as well, so showing some signs of life on the side of Lemonade Stand. That last round was such a great cluster of information for them. And they're just going to do it again. They've taken out the problem child of the Mafia, though. And they're just continuing forward. Dim Sum's going to fall as well. And they're going to try and get the spike down, but they're not quite sure where they want to put it. 5v2 situation. Governor somehow gets the kill onto Bang, but that's all you got. As it is going to be 4 surviving members here for Lemonade Stand and 7-4 on the half. Much better than their game 1.
Oh yeah, this is I'm thinking it's gonna be a 7-5 half here. It's even if it is an 8-4 half, that's still, I mean, it's still not impossible for Lemonade Stand to come back, especially on the side switch here coming up. But like you said, they're doing so much better than they did on Haven. What are the first? It was it 11-2 on the, or 10-2? It was 10-2 on the first half for Haven, and now it's complete opposite. I mean, or not complete opposite, but you know, it's a lot better chance for Lemonade Stand to come back here.
Yeah, already a 400% increase in rounds, looking to make it 500%, but they have to make it happen. They're already getting the Hunter's Fury out of the Mafia. That is a huge ultimate being burned quite early to no results, no damage, no kills, nothing to be had except a bit of information. And you can see that with the rotations that Lemonade Stand are working with, even then it's really not going to work out too much. That's such great timing for Miniature. Justin is definitely punching the air right now.
No more charges
left.
Oh
yeah, he's mad. He's definitely mad. Discord is very loud at the moment. Brock gonna go ahead and peek, but unfortunately not able to cut it. Miniature with a third now. Root getting dropped mid, but not before taking out Governor, and just like that, it's gonna be Cavern in a 1 versus 3 situation as he takes out that final jet. Nilly's right behind him. Cavern, look out, buddy. You got dudes in front of you and behind you. Miniature goes down. Oh, he's getting sandwiched here, and there we go. Nilly finally going to find him from Cat, and just like that, 8-4 as we are heading into the second half. Mafia did a pretty good job of controlling that first half. Look at that. The timing for Miniature there was just, it was perfect. And then he goes on to slap 2 more on the forehead.
And this is what I don't understand, right? So Brock playing Reyna. I'm assuming they have Lear during the Emperor's proc, but they just decide to ego challenge it. They're like, I'm better. I'm going to hit the shot with zero evidence to that belief. And they just get clapped. They just get absolutely
use your abilities, man.
Annihilated by Miniature. And then Miniature's able to, you know, stay stalwart enough to get that other kill afterwards. And I just, you have the abilities. Like, just use them, guys. And again, Reyna's just bad. Just don't pick Reyna. I'm going to say it till I'm blue in the face. Just don't play it.
She's become such like she used to be like a month ago. She was amazing, and now she's just slowly getting more and more broken. I feel like they're like releasing micro updates every day that just like slowly decreases her worth, and it's just no bueno. But now we're on the first round of the second half. Nilly, nice little curvy birdie flash there. That's gonna cause enough distraction for Mafia to take themselves straight through a tree room where pistols are being drawn, damage is being dealt. One from Mafia does go down, but all 5 of Lemonade Stand are still up here. Let's see if Governor's able to take one out. Brock starts it off, takes out Dim Sum. Cavern's there as well. Nilly takes one out, but goes down himself. 1 versus 4, never mind. Dynamic goes down nice and quick. 5th round on the board here for Lemonade Stand. This is what you want to see, but are they going to be able to keep up that momentum coming into the next round?
Yeah, they'll be able to get pretty close to tying it up here. You know, presumably they win this round as well. A couple sheriffs being purchased up here by the Mafia to make it somewhat of a fighting chance, but again, you just get so much out of winning that pistol round that you don't need to really play around too much.
Brock has a Vandal.
Yeah, like it's just... Which again, I actually hate buying rifles on round 2 on the off chance you do get bodied, but...
Yeah.
I mean, if it works, it works, and you don't have to worry about it in the future. It's only when you lose that it becomes a real problem. But again, it's just going up against sheriffs. I'm really not that concerned for Lemonade Stand this round. It's next round where things start to get problematic.
Yeah, either way, buying, especially with not being able to afford full shields, just going light shields. Root finds one, but Governor trades him out. It's risky. It's a risky buy with AR and half shields. It's on second round at least. It's a very risky maneuver because, like you said, if you get dropped, then that's it. Then your team loses that, not only that rifle but also that money. Because if you were to survive, you wouldn't have had to buy another gun. So that loses money, the teammate, and the gun, and it's just no bueno. It's a huge risk to do that second round, and Brock did it, and so far it's worked out for him. But let's see, 2 versus 3 now. Bomb is kind of juggling back and forth in mid, trying to decide where they want to go. I mean, Mafia has 0 information at this point. It's a 3-round deficit, 35 seconds on the clock. Dim Sum, I mean, at this point, you just got to create space.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, 30 seconds left. They're not quite decided on where they want to go. They do break down the door, and to Lemonade Stand's credit, they're covering just about every angle that they need to worry about. They are going to get the rotations coming through the A site. Something signaled to them that this was going to be the play. Lots of footsteps. Brock's in a great position here in hell. Will they expect it? The answer is not quite, but the trades are there, and they're able to strongly pick up the round. It's very expensive for them. Only keeping 2 members alive means they are going to have to rebuy a lot of stuff here. And we'll see what they can work with. Root picks up a Vandal with no armor.
That's scary. That's very scary. But if we look at the eco, it's honestly, there is a difference. We have a couple thousand on LS here on a Lemonade Stand, but if you look at Mafia, we only have 1 person that isn't completely broke, and the crazy part is that everyone is full buying. Everybody has half shields and a rifle, so you hope they have their abilities first, because if you can't buy your abilities, then you cannot be full buying. Because in my book, I always buy my abilities before I buy the rifle. That's just how I am. I don't know how these guys play, but nonetheless, 8-6 is your score. Minute 25 on the clock. It looks like Mafia is heading towards A side here with very little action mid. Root doing what he can to hold up top here. Governor is in line, trying to get any information here on A site.
I do like that there's no rotations just yet from Lemonade Stand. They're believing in the team enough that they can hold that A site with just a couple of members that are there. We are seeing Miniature making a lot of noise here in mid. May potentially be getting flanked here as well. It is the nice little Brock play. Sneaking up behind him, going to be able to take him out. Recon Dart going to try and buy some information, but I think it face planted. I don't think he quite got it where he wanted it. Spikes down, Roots taking down Dynamic before they fall. And all of a sudden, this is scary for the Mafia.
Yeah, very not a great situation here for them. They're down a man, but they do have bomb planted, and now. Okay, there we go. Oh, okay. A lot of action all of a sudden. Governor makes it a 1 versus 1 scenario here. I don't think that's a shock dart he was going for. There we go. The bounce comes through. Barely tags Brock. There's the head peek. Governor, you know where he's at, buddy. There we go. The double little right click there. Able to take out Brock with a 3-piece on the board. And that's going to be finally Mafia getting another point on the board. The first point in the half, which is kind of crazy to say because Lemonade Stand, as far as the first 2 rounds of this half, they kind of took control. And now Mafia is starting to bring it back. So it's definitely a lot more of a... Lemonade Stand's putting up way more of a fight than they did on Haven.
Yeah, that being their being their map pick definitely explains a lot of it. That was a very expensive round for both teams, and you can see that in the buy up here from the Mafia. They need to keep that pressure going. They need to continue winning rounds, and right now they're completely tapped out again, even going as far as to buy the Guardian there, which is just a brutal situation to find yourself in. Dynamic though with a strong start onto Brock, who, Lemonade Stand to their credit, didn't force up too much here.
Yeah, and you gotta wonder if that's gonna hurt them or if it's gonna help them, you know? Because if they win this, then that's a beautiful economical save here. But I mean, as I say that, it's now a 1-on-5 for Cavern here, and I think his best option here would just be to save that rifle or whatever he has, whether it's a rifle or op. Yeah, it's actually neither. It's just a sheriff. So maybe go find a rifle and then save it. But he's about to run into dim sum. There we go. Headshot comes through. 10-6. Mafia slowly taking control back.
Can't ask for much more than that from the Mafia as well. 5 members staying alive. They're completely flawless. Means they don't have to reinvest too much into the next round. They're able to build up a bit of a bankroll. Miniature kind of popped off with that Guardian as well, so I expect them to stick with it, even though they do. Actually, they kind of have to. They only have 2,000 credits to their name. But yeah, just do that again, and the Mafia will be clean sailing. They are the first ones to double digits as well as the score breaks 10-6. They are very likely going to try and really force that to the next couple rounds. But I mean, so my question here is, I'm wondering if they're going to play as slow as they did last half, right? Or last map, excuse me, when they had like 8 rounds to play with, as we see Dim Sum just rip apart Brock. Right, like they knew the situation they were in last map where they had such a huge lead that they were able to just kind of sit back and wait. Oh, Jesus, miniature popping up.
That's what you want to see for Mafia. No, Root's got something to say though. Headshot onto Dim. A minute on the clock here. They got to get bombs somewhere. And it looks like they're focusing on Ace side here. Root is covering tree room. He's going to get peeked by Dynamic, and then he gets dropped, and now it's a 1-on-4 situation here for Astra, and Bang, yeah, he's going to take out that door. I think he's got a Spectre here to work with, which isn't the best situation for him, but nonetheless, Nilly going to find that kill. Now 1 point off of match point here for Mafia. Lemonade Stand, they got it. I mean, they had the first 2, they got the first 2 pistol rounds in this half, and then after that they just kind of dropped the ball, and they've been losing 3 in a row now. So if they're gonna start coming back, if they're gonna, you know, grind the gears, it's got to be now.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, this is not really the round to do it. You can see them really having a conversation about how much they want to invest, considering they can't really invest. So they are going to opt to go with mostly pistols on their side. And this is going to have to be gimme round. They basically have to play for overtime as Cavern and Root just get eliminated from the server right at round start. The last couple of members are all revealed as well. Dynamic's not playing anymore. Just pulls out the Blade Storm, is going to go for it. Gets a little blinded by a teammate though. But hey, you know what? It happens.
Yeah, what's crazy is that Mafia has, I mean, they've had full control of B site for a minute now, and they haven't gotten bombed out. So, I mean, I'm not really sure what the plan is here, but now Bang's finally going to hop on the site. Is that Bang? I'm not sure. Astra's going to hop on the site here. Dim Sum is going to go ahead and get the plant down. Miniature takes out Justin, and now it's a 1 versus 4. Couple shots being taken here by Brock, but Dynamic going to send him straight back to the lobby as we are now at match point 12-6. Lemonade Stand has got some work ahead of them if they want to stay in this.
Yeah, this isn't just not only map point, as it obviously is 12-6, but it's also
series
match point, series point, tournament point, not tournament point because the tournament's not over, but it all comes down to this for Lemonade Stand. If they don't win here, obviously they're knocked down and out, and Mafia are going to be moving on to the semifinals. And with what they've had equipped so far, they're definitely looking strong to do it. Lemonade Stand do have that operator, though. They have a fighting chance, at the very least, at the end of this round to do something. We're already seeing Dynamic so far forward, though. Look at how aggressive you're getting. Is getting burned up a little bit by these nano swarms, but they're everywhere. And Governor's just W King people.
Oh, Dynamic not able to get out of the way. Cavern picks up 2, Nilly to Brock, and now it's 2 versus 3. There's nothing but red on your screen. The kill feed is red, 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 and now it's 1 versus 3 here. Not the best situation here for Root. If he's able to take out Nilly, then that's at least their healer down. I mean, he's got to do this perfectly though. This is for the marbles right here. This is it. 12 to
definitely
6.
Not a good situation to be in, as they're already taking damage. They're gonna get full blind. They're gonna get full dead. 13 to 6 for Mafia. They're gonna be moving on to the quarterfinals now. 2-0 over Lemonade Stand.
Oh yeah, I mean that was 2 very, very strong maps from the Mafia there. 13 to 5 and then 13 to 6 immediately after. I mean, these guys, there's no other way to put it. They deserve to move on. So unfortunately, Lemonade Stand just couldn't find their stride. They had a couple go in there. They had 2 or 3 in a row there on Ascent, but other than that, they couldn't really find their footing, and they're gonna pay for it. And we're not gonna see Breeze, unfortunately. I really wanted to see Breeze. I'm not gonna lie, but we're not gonna see it.
Series.
Yeah,
There's always next series. Speaking of which, we will be having, again, more Valorant action ahead of us here today. Plenty more as we are on Championship Sunday of this PlayerzZone 2K Invitational. And if you want to go check out the PlayerzZone facility, it is there in, I believe, Rochester, New York. You'll love to see it. Yeah, East Rochester even. They are going to be typing out !PZ in the chat if you want to check out more of them. And in case you do have more time on your hands, you can go ahead and check out communitygaming.io for all of the tournament action that they have going on. Valorant, League of Legends, Hearthstone, and many, many more. But with that, we are going to be taking a short break while we set up for our next series. So stay tuned, grab a drink, and we'll see you in just a couple of minutes.
I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that it's not reality.
Here we go.
invincible.
Midnight and city lights on the other side. You're calling me up at the same time. I'm in the daylight. You're calling to say hi, but your words they cry. If there's something that you need to say, I know it ain't easy living inside your brain for sure. You keep telling me that it's all okay, but I know, yeah, your silence speaks so loud. Your silence speaks so loud. And I hear you calling out, yeah.
Much closer than what we saw on Haven. There was a huge lead that Serenity Black had, and they just ran away with it here. Much closer game, and this is a defensive-sided map, so honestly, I think that this is exactly what Scrounge and Pros wanted. 5 rounds on attack on Icebox. That's a very good round total. Put themselves in a great position to win this game and extend the series to that tiebreaker.
Indeed, a lot of potential here for the Scrounge and Pros side, but this is the first hurdle they're going to have to overcome. Pistol round. You win the pistol for Scrounge and Pros, then you're right back into it. It's probably going to be a tied game. If not, well, it's maybe a little bit more difficult. As Serenity looking to push forward in towards A. G-Man's taking a whole hell of a lot of damage, and well, Neon coming in from the top ropes gets off to dispatch of BCJ just in case, and Aiko finding Valen as well. Puts this into a little bit of an even game. Pew, G-Man both coming in fast, quick and heavy. Coming behind this toxic screen. It's very much an obvious position, and he's getting spammed down for it. Nick, the sole survivor, has the ghost, long range, but it's not connecting. No shots there, and Scrounge and Pros make that retake look easy.
That was one of the best retakes I've seen in quite a while. It looked like it was so much in favor of Serenity Black. They were able to get 2 picks right off the bat. They were able to get the spike planted, but they never really were able to reset. They got run up on by Scrounge and Pros. They didn't expect it. They didn't see it coming. And they had Nick trying to stop the counter rotation because Nick wasn't there. They didn't have the manpower they needed to really hold that point post-plant because of that. Scrounge and Pros, that first hurdle you talked about, it has been jumped over. They should be able to tie things up here, and just for those of you at home, this is unfortunately a visual bug I've noticed now, casting Valorant the last few days. There are no Viper ultimates that are currently active. That just seems to happen when they are active when a round ends, so something along those sorts, but we'll see when those ultimates are back online. We'll let you know.
Yeah, usually they show back up after you successfully use the pit once in the next half. So either way, it's a bit of a shooting gallery here in middle. You could say maybe a bit of a questionable, you know, decision-making process for Serenity. They just kind of run it down mid, but they do get two kills out of it, which is kind of best case scenario in a round like that, isn't it, Jag?
It definitely is. It forces Scrounge and Pros to either use their economy more, or just, you know, they go with what they got. It looks like we'll see what Valen and BCJ decide to do. Looks like they might just go for the Sheriff buy, which is the cheapest option. Serenity Black, after getting up 2 rounds, they get their bonus. But I think the biggest thing is Butte on this Bulldog. We talked about this yesterday, how the Bulldog this is probably its best map because it is a not semi-auto, it's a burst weapon. Does 3 shots in a row when you're zoomed in, and because of these sightlines that you can find here and there, it can be a really good weapon. It can actually outduel a Vandal or a Phantom depending on the sightline that you have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
And
That's the pick that they're using
well,
to promo this.
looks to me Serenity utilizing their gun around here to try and push towards B. They note that toxic screen, a much more aggressive version of that toxic screen than we saw Scrounge and Pros using. We're gonna look to try to get that spike planted here relatively shortly, as Ico does trade with Valen, but it's through a paint shell, a little bit unceremonious, as the screen may go down, but the wall is there for help. The wall plant strategy from Adder. And Adder looks to get aggressive. I really love this position from Adder. Unfortunately, it's sort of given away almost immediately. He has to move into a different position. You see Jay with the frag, able to connect on that Sheriff we were talking about prior to the beginning of this round. And Butte nearly gets him, but baits out the shots. And as I say that, though, Nick and Dubbin both find success. It's all now on to Dubbin. Those shock darts, we saw it. They went out earlier. It's 1v2, but low HP for both players. He's not ready for Butte on the wide swing. And BCJ able to collect the defuse. Scrounge and Pros, they take the lead.
I think you brought up a great point about Adder got forced out of position and tried to go back on the spike in the poison orb. Saw the enemy stage, saw their counterpart walk in, heal up, and then walk out, try to chase it, but then immediately was found out. So if Adder had been alive, I think that would have been a much better scenario, a much different scenario for Serenity Black, but that's not the world we're living in. We're living in right now where Scrounge and Pro is able to take the lead once more. Gone 3 rounds in a row, and that bonus round again has not gone the way of the team that should have the advantage.
Yeah, and with this, I mean,
I love
it's
how,
pretty much, you know, Scrounge and Pros
I love how people
map
have
to
a
play
problem
with.
the
They can
giving us something,
obviously look to take this round.
like a
This is
shot
just an
that'll
eco
help
round,
us.
but
and yet
it's basically, you know, where can
but
Serenity
they can
find
control
openings?
women's
Where can they find victories and kind of get back